Daena is best known for proudly representing the Philippines in the Miss Eco Teen International 2019 pageant in Egypt. She continues the pageant's advocacy of making the world a greener place and spreading positivity in any way she can.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of In Love With Me, where we feature inspiring individuals who will share their amazing stories. I am your host, Mafae Velasco, and for this series, our topic is being empowered during quarantine. For this episode, we have an empowered woman and Miss Eco Teen Philippines 2019 to motivate us to take action. So without further ado, let's welcome the beautiful and amazing Daena Resurreccion. Hi, Daena.
Hi, Miss. Hi, Miss Mafae. Thank you for inviting me to this live stream video.
Of course, thank you for being with me. I know we've been in lockdown now for almost 3 months, and I'm sure you have a lot to share on what you've been up to. But before you do that, please share with everyone on how you became the empowered woman that you are today.
I first feel that I am empowered when I first enter my school, which is the Father Pierre Church Institute Erdetech, which offers they only provide scholarship to those students who are underprivileged. And the span of 6 years in Erdetech, I became a scholar of the Philippine Cabin Crane Charities Incorporated, and with that, I feel like I am empowered because I am supported by the women behind me, by the women in the cabin crew behind me. And joining Miss World Philippines had taught me a lot of things. It really made me feel like I am really empowered because it gave me the voice that I can say something to the world. I can say something to everyone. That I can reach everyone with my voice.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's so true because it's something that I will always share is that being part of pageant takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of patience, and then at the same time, once you're there, you have the network, you have
Mhm.
the people who also have a voice that you can discuss
Yeah.
certain issues, and I know you have an advocacy, right? Please
Yeah.
share with everyone what that is.
My advocacy during my Miss World Philippines pageant was about education through sports because I belong to a family which is not really financially stable. So
Mhm.
I was a scholar for 6 years of my high school, and I thought that being a varsity or joining um, a varsity in school will help me to pursue my education. So what I
Mhm.
did is in my Miss World Philippines organization, my Miss World Philippines pageant, I advocate the youth to help them have different options in studying. For example, like that, joining um, varsities or being a sporty one to help you sustain your educational needs. And
Mhm.
my advocacy during my Miss Eco Teen pageant was about rehabilitating the Ilog Pasig, which I joined an organization which is called the Kaisang Lahi Dance Group. This group um, creates some recitals. They do folk dances. They play instruments for the people around them, and then the money that they are gathering from that event will be given to the rehabilitation of Ilog Pasig.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
you represented the Philippines last November
Yes.
in Egypt, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell us about that.
Um, it was really surreal because I feel like I am very innocent when I got to the airport because that was my first flight. Yun po yung unang international flight ko and I know nothing about airports. Like, sobrang innocente ako. Wala akong alam. I don't know how to check in my bags. I don't know how to get my tickets. I don't know everything. Ang alam ko lang is I am carrying the flag of our country and I am carrying the name of not just myself. Because before, when I joined pageants, I know na sarili ko lang yung dala ko or my family's name or my place's name. But ngayon is different. Sobrang different kasi I am carrying the whole Philippines, not just some certain places, but the whole Philippines. Plus, yung innocence ko sa airport and I know nothing and that was my first international pageant and national pageant too. Super pressured and super nerve-wracking na experience ko doon. But when I got to Egypt, I first came with Peru and Canada, which made us the dynamic trio. And our friendship was really fun. My experience there was really fun. The place is so good. Sobrang ang daming matututunan. Sobrang ganda ng place. And when the competition started, it really, I'm in the midst of asking myself, doubting myself if kaya ko ba talaga or, parang, kasi feeling ko that time, wala ako, maliit lang ako sa lahat ng ibang girls. I feel like hindi ako kasing taas ng narating nila, hindi ako kasing taas ng kaya nilang gawin. I feel like sobrang liit ko. Lagi akong nagda-doubt sa sarili ko, lagi kong iniisip na hindi ko kaya. But when I realized na andun ako sa peak ng age ko plus the experience that I'm going through pa, andun ako sa peak ng age ko where I oftenly doubt myself. I oftenly ask myself, what is my purpose? Who am I? What am I doing here? What do I want to achieve? But then, those realizations made me into that situation, which turned really good. In a way na I never see myself na magrampa sa international pageant, sa international stage with different, with the diversity of our culture sa mga candidates. Sobrang surreal nung experience ko dun sa Egypt. And Egypt was really fun. Miss Eco Team, the organization is really organized as well. Sobrang bait nila, sobrang maasikaso sila. Especially Dr. Amal. Dr. Amal is really encouraging us to do eco-friendly activities and always been chit-chatting with us and asking us about what are the issues or current situation of our country in terms of environmental things. So ayun po, super na enjoy ko yung experience sa Egypt with these girls and super surreal ng experience na yun.
How many girls were there? Or how many countries competed?
22.
And as a team, that is such a big achievement, for you, Daena. And thank you for representing us because you did so well. Now that you're back, what would be your advice to other teenagers that would want to join a pageant? How should they prepare?
Honestly, before, I was not really into pageantry. I am a boyish girl who do skateboarding, who play a lot of sports. But then, since teenagers, we are in the midst of always asking ourselves, what our purpose is? Ano yung desires namin? Ano talaga yung gusto namin mangyari sa sarili namin? I first encountered, what do you call this? Teenage crisis when I was third year high school. I started trying to find what are my desires, what are my passions, kung ano talaga yung gusto ko sa buhay. So then I ended up doing skateboarding, playing volleyball, being into bands. Pageantry was never an option. But then when I realized na hindi always ibibigay sa yung situation na madali. Hindi always ibibigay yung situation sa'yo na gusto mo. I was asked by my tita, sabi niya, Daena, why don't you join a pageant here sa Pandacan around our area? Um, Hindi ko talaga gustong kunin yung offer na yun, but then I realized na why not step up on my box? Why not
Mm.
go and explore some things? Yun naman
Mm.
yung purpose bakit ako nagkakaroon ng opportunities to explore and gain more experiences. So
Mm.
then nag-start akong mag-pageant when I was 17 here in Pandacan. My first pageant was here, Mutya ng Pandacan, and super unexpectedly nanalo
Mm.
ako. Um, my preparations there was really hard because alam mo yun, super boyish ako. Then my pasarela was not really good enough. Like, super boyish. Like, my broad shoulders are always not um, synchronizing with my hips. And
Uh-huh.
my build was big and super ang hirap because I receive a lot of negative comments kasi hindi ako magaling rumampa and I am not really into speaking. In public,
Mm.
public speaking is not really my thing. So what I did is I really wanted that crown, or I really wanted to see a progress in me. So what I did is every night up until 2 a.m. I was walking around the streets with my heels with me after doing skateboarding.
Mm.
And it somehow improved thanks to my manager before, Mama Tenten Rodriguez, really helped me to, conquer my fear in public speaking and in pasarela. And if there are girls who wanted to join pageants, or teenagers wanted to join pageants, don't be scared because these opportunities are not always there. These opportunities will not always be given to you. Um, take every opportunity as a diamond na sobrang ito-treasure mo siya. Because not everyone can have this kind of opportunity. Like when I joined Miss Eco Team, um, it was really surreal because I was not really expecting something from Miss World Philippines. We know that I didn't really won. I didn't really
Mhm.
won that night. So I didn't take any crown that night.
Mhm.
But weeks after, I was called by the organization and asked me if I can represent the Philippines for the Miss Ikutin International Pageant. Um, I was out of words that time. I just cried in front of ALV, in front of Sir Arnold. And
Mhm.
my main purpose, like what I am looking forward is the scholarship that it will give me. Because
Mhm.
naalala ko before I joined pageants, I was pushing myself to train, to try out for a certain school to get a scholarship because my family is not really financially stable and we cannot afford to go into a college which will
Mhm.
require high you know um allowances or miscellaneous fees. But then I realized that time I was not after the crown. I was after the scholarship because I really
Right.
wanted to study still. Because
Mhm.
nag-stop ako for a year when when I got the offer for Miss World. I decided to stop and pursue Miss World Philippines.
Mhm.
And after the pageant, after the Miss World, um, I was busy thinking on how I can go back in track, how I can go back to school.
Mhm.
But yeah, it is really a great blessing na tinawagan ako and then they told me na I will represent the Philippines for the Miss Eco Team pageant. And it was really surreal. Yung experiences na, sudden experiences na, everyone will be afraid of that big opportunity. Yun yung
Mhm.
unang pumasok ko. I started doubting myself if kaya ko. Kasi wala naman akong experience before sa international pageant. Like,
Mhm.
pumapagent lang ako before to sustain my educational needs for my high school. But now, different na eh. Kasi kailangan kong lumipad sa ibang bansa and bitbitin yung pangalan ng Pilipinas to like, you know, bring pride in with you, with everyone.
Mhm.
Sobrang surreal and if there are girls or there are teenagers who wanted to join pageants, always grab the opportunity. Because, you know, malay mo yung opportunity na yun will be your game changer. Like what happened to me. It
Mhm.
really changed my perspective. It really gained me a lot of experiences. It really gained me a lot of learnings. And yun yung super gandang takeaway doon.
Mhm.
May crown ka, pero after that, you will always bring with you the pride, the experience, and the learnings that you had from that life event. Super amazing nun for you to like try and go out in your comfort zone.
Mhm. And at the same time, you not only you gain that positive network, you are
Mhm.
also a powerful voice. Like Nayon, I really appreciate that you were very honest that you expressed you didn't even bring home the crown the night of the pageant of Miss World, but given the chance, you were always ready if in case
Mhm.
you had to take over or if anything landed on your lap. Yung end goal mo is really to have the education so that you rise
Mhm.
and have that career that you wish for. So that's the bigger prize for you. And look, the Lord blessed you even more with so much
Mhm.
more to be happy with. Um, so going back to pageant night, I just want to recall your feelings. You expressed that you didn't win a crown that night. So how
Mhm.
did you feel after they announced the winners? What was your feeling then?
In Miss World Philippines pageant, I was not really expecting something from it because, nung nag-screen ako doon before, I was I was messaged by Mama Eri, who is an employee for Sir Jim Ryan Ross.
Mhm.
He messaged me if I wanted to join Miss World Philippines. And that was July 24. And the final screening is August 4. So,
Mhm.
wala talaga akong preparations. And 1 year
That's
akong nag-stop sa pageant.
uh,
So, I don't know what to do because wala akong idea what is Miss World. Like, ano yung
mhm.
Miss World? Ano yung ginagawa nila? Ano yung mission nila? Ano yung vision nila? So, what
Mhm.
I did is, nag-focus ako sa sarili ko. I mean,
Mhm.
in speaking or in my mental, you know, my intellectual things. So what I did is I just, meditate or prayed na sana makapasok, sana kayanin.
Mhm.
When I got to the final screening, I only have a big bag with me because no one's allowed when you go in. Wala nang pwedeng pumasok with you. So,
Mhm.
bit-bit ko yung bag ko with a book, with swimsuit and makeups. That's all. And
Mhm.
wala akong training sa pasarela or what. Wala,
Mhm.
ako lang talaga yung dala ko. Then, pagpasok ko ng room, I got really intimidated sa ibang girls kasi super gaganda nila. Super petite, super gaganda ng faces, and their speaking voice are really well. And
Mhm.
I was like, 18 lang ako that time. I was just 18. And I
Mhm.
was like the baby girl. Ever since I was the baby girl in the batch. Even when I joined the Miss World, I was really the baby girl. So then I was asking myself, para ba talaga ako dito?
Mhm.
Or sinabi ko na lang na, sige, okay na yan. Just risk it. So then,
Mhm.
when when everyone got the final screening na, andun na lang ako sa side with other girls and laughing about things and nagchichikahan na lang kami and all. I was called second and wala akong idea na number ko yung tinatawag.
Mhm.
Um, I remember some other girls na tinutulak nila ako, I mean, tinatap nila ako na, uy, ikaw yung tinawag. I was really grateful that time and I don't know what to say kasi I was not really expecting plus hindi ako really nag-prepared for that. So then super super blessed and super grateful ako that moment. And then when I got into Miss World, I was not really expecting any because pinakabata ako. I was the youngest among everyone. And ako yung may pinaka-less experience sa pageantry. So, what I put into myself is, enjoy ko lang yung moment. I-enjoy ko lang yung experience. Because, wala. Not everyone can have that kind of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
After the coronation night, hindi ako na-feel bad kasi my family always taught me na to be grateful on what you have achieved kahit sa ganong
Yes.
kaliit na way lang. And then
Mm-hmm.
after the pageant, I I I am really grateful na yung mga girls, like some of the girls like Billy Hackinson, Keisha Chua, and all of these sisters hugged me after, and because ilan lang po kami nag-vie sa crown sa Miss Ego team. But I was really
Mm-hmm.
not expecting any from it. So then, I
Mm-hmm.
feel bad somehow. But then, I realized na super ganda ng binigay sa akin ng pageant yun. So why should I be, mad or feel bad about it, even na hindi ako nanalo ng crown? The
Mm-hmm.
experience really paid. And then after that, after Miss World, yeah, I just focus on what I should do next, on how I can go back and track with my studies. So, ayun po, I never feel bad about what happened that night. But
Mm-hmm.
I am really thankful na nagkaroon ako ng 39 sisters, and some of the organizers, super babait nila sa amin, and my mentors, they really helped me to shape me up, and super nag-grow ako with them. Kaya yun na yung pinaka-takeaway ko. Yun na yung pinaka-crowd ko, even that night wala akong naiuwi.
So speaking of mentors, who are your mentors, and possibly share also the people that you looked up to, or maybe other beauty queens that you idolized, that you wanted to follow their footsteps? Sino sila?
My mentors are Sir Jim Ryan Ross. We first met sa Philippine Beauty. They scouted me through Mama Eri, who is like kalugar ko siya dito sa Pandakan. So, alam niya na nagpa-pageant ako before. So, Mama Eri contacted me before if I can be, their model. And hindi ako I mean, super, super bilis nung nangyari, because after that Philippine Beauty event,
Mm-hmm.
nag-message sila sa akin if I can go to Miss World. Yeah. So, when I got into Miss World Philippines, there is Mama Bea Bianca Maki, my designer, um, Sir Kenneth Ilotarde, um, my mentors, yeah, Mama Ru, Mama Arnold, ALV, of course, Sir Arnold Vegafria, and
Mm-hmm.
my my PCCI titas, like, who helped me with my education when I was in high school. They are still there to like motivate me and help me in what way they can. They even dated me before I flew to Egypt. Nag-date
Mm-hmm.
kami, and they treated me and give some advices, and their advices are really, really sobrang useful, and sobrang, ang gaganda ng advices nila. And these people, hindi man sa mga nabanggit ko, of course, my family, my friends, they are there always. So, yeah, um, I look up to Pia Wurtzbach, because I somehow has a common denominator when it comes to pageantry. Because at the last minute, I got crowned unexpectedly. So,
Mm-hmm.
I somehow see myself in her. And
Mm-hmm.
sobrang ganda ng journey niya when she said na your faith when your faith is stronger, you will always feel that pride in you. Sobrang mas mataas yung pride mo, sobrang feeling mo angat ka sa lahat, because when your faith is really stronger, you know that not just your family or your friends or your mentors are behind you, but still, God is still with you and always guiding you with what you are doing. So I always look up to her kasi she is not just a beauty queen, she is also a great believer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's great. I keep forgetting that you're still a teen. You're now 19, right?
Yes.
You still have a year for to be a teenager. But do you have let's say, a dream to join other pageants, or do you want to, or are you happy with what you have already?
Of course, I am dreaming to be a Miss Universe. Of course, like every pageant girl dreams about that. But my focus is more on winning a Latina crown, which is the Reina Hispano-Americana. Because
Mhm.
I really had fun with Miss Peru and Miss Dominican Republic during my Miss Eco team, and really it gives me that, you know, eagerness to learn how to speak in Spanish. So super naglo-look up ako to that crown na Reina Hispano-Americana because, the experience is really sobrang iba, and the fact na you can speak like that language, super super cool niya pakinggan and super fulfilling. Yeah.
So now we talk about during quarantine. Obviously,
Mhm.
you have such a glow, Dana. Thank you for being here because your glow already is inspiring. But during this quarantine, what have you been up to, and how do you keep yourself motivated?
During this quarantine, since I can see some of the queens that doing some fundraising activities and giving back to the frontliners, I can't really afford to do that. But what I did
Mhm.
is, of course, your charity starts with your family. So what I did is I tried to help some of our relatives na nahihirapan during this quarantine because we know that not everyone has the you know the sources to like sustain their daily lives with food or with money. So
Mhm.
if some other queens like give back to the frontliners, I started to give back to my family and to my other family members, especially
Mhm.
some of those who are having a difficulty during this time. And what keeps me
Yes.
motivated is looking at the brighter side of what is happening right now. Um,
Mhm.
my mom is really such a workaholic woman because you won't believe that my mom is a driver. My mom is a company
Mhm.
driver and works 12 hours a day. And I look up to that whenever we are bonding here sa house
Mhm.
namin. It is really sobrang dalang lang na namin magkita nung nag-work siya. But now, we are given the chance to be with her all the time during this quarantine, and super we are like bonding really well, and the family tie is really going strong, and yun yung nilook up ko, and what that made me more motivated.
Mhm. So I see where you get it from now. Thank you to your mom. I guess she has been a frontliner also during this time. Without her, you wouldn't have this strong, aura about you. We have a question here online for you. In Q&A, did you experience a mental block, or how would you handle that if in case you did?
During Miss Eco Team, my second Q&A, I really had a mental block because I cannot believe na I'm in top 5. I cannot really believe in myself na I did that far. So what I did is, after a few seconds of having mental block, I tried to regain myself by, breathing. Because everyone usually do that. But when you breathe in and out, it clears your mind. It gives you a peaceful mind and really helps you to think better. And, it really helps you to give some ideas and feed that question that is given to you.
Mhm. And mind you, everyone, Q&A is not easy. Okay, as
Yeah.
much as you practice, as much as you
Yeah.
memorize answers,
Mhm.
the one thing that I do advise, and I think Diana can attest to this, is just know yourself, know what you like, know your passions, even if it's current issues, educate yourself about it so that you can have your own opinion. Because I know, just from being an experienced judge, is that we like to see the girl or the boy, it depends what kind of pageant it is, personality. right? And if you're able to communicate. But when they have a mental block, you have to respect that also, because it's only once in a lifetime, or that moment is a moment where everybody's staring at you, and maybe sometimes the audience can be a distraction too. And I hope for the people who are watching, when you watch pageants again live, when we have that chance, please give the respect to the candidates, just to stay quiet, because that's where we can see them bloom, and they've worked so hard. Just like with Dane's experience, for the ones who do have that chance, breathe. Breathe before you answer. I think you should just have to lock your eyes on whoever you're speaking to, right, Dana? Whoever asked the question, which judge it is, just pretend it's just you and that person in the room. I think that's the best answer also. Okay, so another question for you. In such a young age, how does it feel to achieve the things you've achieved and being able to go abroad?
Um, at this age, I feel like I was still dreaming when I go back to those, to those experiences that I had before. Um, being abroad is was really my dream, because everyone wanted to travel, but my goal that time is not to just go along and tour the place, or try other cuisines which usually tourists do. But what I did abroad is like compete and represent our country, to like give pride and honor to everyone here in the Philippines. And super surreal nun, and super grateful ako with that experience, and it helped me to, have my well-being um, process, and be gain a lot of experiences and a lot of learnings from it. And super great blessing nun sa akin, because when you dream about going abroad, it's not just about traveling. It's what I had before is plus competing pa, and the pressure is really different.
Mhm. I want to go back. You did mention that when you first started during pageants, you had a few comments, negative comments from people saying that you're too athletic and this and that. How did you start avoiding it, or what was your, I guess, action? How did you not get affected with those people?
um I started to feel that even on stage, because there are people who are booing me and telling na, uy, hindi naman mananalo yan because, mataba, and different yung walk niya, hindi katulad sa mga girls sa super, super, lang, poise, and super sultry lang yung walk nila. But then, I realized na, I'm carrying myself, so why would I mind them? Why would I
Mhm.
mind those people who are just watching? I'm on stage. It's me. It's not about
Yes.
them. It's about me, on how I carry myself. So
Mhm.
I don't really mind them. Like, okay, you're bashing me. Thanks. That's all. Like, my brother told me that, na wag mo silang pansinin because it's you. Ikaw yun. Ikaw yung nasa stage. Ikaw yung lumalaban. You carry
Mhm.
yourself. Wala silang say doon. Like,
Mhm.
be your best, because everything will pay off naman in the end.
Yes. Exactly, exactly. Another question: if given the chance to have another cause besides education, what would it be?
Um, I think for animals, because I am really an animal lover. I have 3 dogs here, and
Mhm.
I've been seeing a lot of accidents in the internet wherein there are animal cruelty, and I really
Yes.
wanted to address that, because these animals are voiceless. They cannot speak for themselves. So what I want
Mhm.
is to raise awareness about animal cruelty, so then we can
Mhm.
stop it and have flatten the curve for the animal cruelty, that accidents that is happening around us. Especially now,
Mhm.
because during quarantine, there are a lot of stray dogs around, and how will they be fed? How will they eat? You know,
Right.
my heart is really into animals and especially dogs or cats or pets. And I really wanted to address that thing.
Hmm. You said you played sports. What sports do you play?
Um, Before I started playing skateboarding, and then I switched
Okay.
into volleyball. I was supposed to be a varsity
Hmm.
before Miss World. I
Hmm.
started to try out for a certain school, and but then Miss World came, and I need to choose between two, and I feel like I am really passionate about pageantry, so I chose Miss World. So yeah, I am playing volleyball po.
So, given a chance for you to go to school and give a talk to students, right, teenagers, what
Mhm.
would you advise them on the same path as you, choosing two passions? How would you guide them on choosing the right one?
Um, Teenagers always experience this kind of situation wherein you're always asking yourself, para saan ako? Anong
Mm-hmm.
purpose ko? What are my desires? So then, those questions will help you to figure out what you will choose between two. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're really passionate about doing this thing and if you feel like your heart is really for this kind of situation, it will
Mm-hmm.
help you if you will ask always yourself, what are your purpose, what are your
Right.
goal, what are your dreams. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that there are a lot of teenagers that has been experiencing identity crisis, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like us youth will always have the choice to like how we can handle it, and not everyone
Mm-hmm.
has the same way of handling things naman, but then it will really help, and always try to seek or ask someone who is really close to you. Like what I am doing, I always owe to it to my brother. I always ask him on how will things go if I choose this, how will things go if I choose that, or because they have a lot of experiences. The person who are higher than us will give us a lot of preview on how they handled themselves before, and that will
Mm-hmm.
give us more ideas on how we can handle ourselves and what are the things that we are having troubles in choosing with.
Mm-hmm. And it's a great point that you mentioned there is that I think right now is the best time to communicate with your older siblings, older family, and ask them questions about life, right? You can
Yeah.
only learn from people who have experienced it.
Yes.
And I'm sure they're more than happy to answer all your questions. Like for you, you're blessed to have a older kuya, older brother that can give you advice. So that's a great point, Dana. Before we wrap up, can you please share with everyone your words of wisdom? To stay hopeful, most especially at this time, and to motivate them on knowing that there are many more doors that will open for them.
um I can say that if there are people who are asking themselves and super nade-depress or nada-down sila on about their career or about the relationship that they're going through, I guess they should always put in mind na everything has a purpose. This quarantine really made us a lot of, gives us a lot of time to think, and somehow we overthink. But I guess this quarantine will help us to, know ourselves better and know our family members better, and take this time to think and reflect on what we have done before, and what we have achieved, or what we want to achieve, and always always try to pray and surrender everything to God, because um when you feel his presence, it's different. It's really different when you try to connect with him. It's really different. And I guess sa super busy natin before quarantine, and now we are here at home and doing nothing or doing some things. This is the time that we should connect again to God, and because we are experiencing a lot, and alam naman natin na marami tayong questions, and not every questions can be
Yes.
answered. So yeah, take the time to think, reflect, and to action, of course, on what you can do. I mean, there are things na kaya mo namang i-figure out how to do, pero hindi mo masyadong na-realize yun because, masyado kang busy or masyadong occupied yung mind mo to brainstorm on what you should do. So yeah, take this time, reflect, and take action.
There you guys have it, Miss Eco Teen Philippines 2019, sharing her words of wisdom right now. Let's do some shout outs. We have Tess Agonoy watching from Apple One Banawa Heights in Cebu. Hello. We have Nico, we have
Hello.
Manel, Aubrey, we have Scarlett Stark. Thank you for tuning in. Percy Santos, Carolyn Bordon, hello, hello. Rosalina Saide, and Rojas Adrian Nicole. Thank you for your comments, guys. Dana, maybe you have some shout outs you want to express also.
Yeah, my brother and my boyfriend are outside and watching me. My mom also, and my friends as well. They are like really looking forward to see me with you, Miss Mafe. And yeah, thank you for having me today. And yeah, that's all.
Of course. And where can they find your information for your advocacy so that we can support you?
Um, I think I'll be reposting my eco video for Miss Eco Team so that we can like cooperate and do some fundraising for the Pasig River. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'll try to reconnect with the organization that I am into para ma-help din natin to like have a better Ilog Pasig.
Oh, and I just saw. Hi, Jim. I missed you. Thanks for
Hi, Sir
tuning in.
Jim.
There you go. So I hope you watch the next episodes. And with that, guys, Dana, thank you. This is such a powerful woman
Thank you,
right
Miss
here.
Mafe.
I'm excited to see what else you have in store in the next coming years because you have so much more to share and motivate others. Okay. So with that, guys, actions speak louder than words. And thank you for tuning in on another episode of In Love with You. Thanks, Dana.
Thank you for watching and Love of Me series.